Beneath the sunlit surface of the South China Sea, where the waves shimmer with promise and mystery, lies a world few have truly explored. This vast expanse of water, stretching from the shores of the Philippines to distant horizons, hides more than just marine life and coral reefs. It conceals a secret so immense, it could alter the destiny of an entire nation. Deep below, in the shadowy depths, a hidden treasure waits. Not the gold of ancient pirates, but something far more valuable in today's world. Here, beneath the waves, are vast reserves of oil and natural gas, resources that could change the Philippines forever, fueling dreams of progress and prosperity. These untapped riches have the potential to transform the nation's fortunes, providing energy security, creating jobs and lifting millions out of poverty. For the Philippines, this is not just about wealth, it's about hope for a brighter, more independent future. Yet the Philippines stands on the edge of a turbulent sea, its maritime boundaries hotly contested by powerful neighbors. The dream of energy independence and economic power is shadowed by uncertainty and risk. The South China Sea is a geopolitical minefield, where overlapping claims, military patrols, and tense standoffs are part of daily reality. Every move is watched, every claim challenged, and the threat of conflict looms over any hope of easy riches. The promise of $1 trillion resource is both a beacon of hope and a source of tension. For every vision of prosperity, there is a shadow of protest and the ever-present risk of confrontation. Filipino leaders debate, fishermen worry about their future, and ordinary citizens watch the horizon, wondering if this promise will ever be fulfilled. The real question remains, can the Philippines secure its rightful share, or will the dream be swept away by the storm of international conflict and competing interests? The stakes are nothing less than the nation's sovereignty, its prosperity, and the future of generations to come. The answer lies beneath the waves, waiting to be claimed, or lost forever. The Philippines' potential oil and gas reserves could be worth trillions of dollars, representing a transformative opportunity for the nation's future. These untapped resources, lying beneath the waves and seabed, have the power to change the country's economic landscape for generations to come. If harnessed wisely, this wealth could reshape the entire economy, fueling growth, attracting investment, and creating a ripple effect that touches every Filipino's life. At the center of this potential lies the Reed Bank, a vast underwater plateau in the South China Sea. Experts estimate it holds billions of barrels of oil and trillions of cubic feet of natural gas, making it one of the most coveted energy frontiers in Asia. Its location within the Philippine Exclusive Economic Zone adds both promise and complexity. Successfully tapping these resources could dramatically reduce the country's dependence on imported fuel, stabilize energy prices, and provide a reliable power supply for industries and homes across the archipelago. It would also mean more robust infrastructure and a stronger foundation for future development. With newfound energy independence, the Philippines could even become an exporter, gaining new leverage in regional trade and negotiations. This shift would elevate the country's standing in Asia and open doors to new partnerships and opportunities. For ordinary Filipinos, the impact would be profound: more jobs in energy and related sectors, lower electricity bills, and improved public services. Rural communities could see electrification and modernization, while families benefit from a higher quality of life. Yet the world is watching closely. Major powers are invested in maintaining stability in the region, wary of any single nation gaining too much control over these vital resources. Diplomatic negotiations and international cooperation are crucial to ensuring peace and shared prosperity. The promise is real, a future where prosperity is shared, and the nation's natural wealth uplifts every community. With careful stewardship, these resources could fund education, healthcare, and infrastructure, building a brighter tomorrow for all. That's why the struggle for these resources is so fierce. The stakes are high, and the outcome will shape the destiny of the Philippines for decades to come. In April 2025, China's state oil giant stunned the world with an announcement. A massive new oil and gas discovery, one of the largest in recent memory, had been made in the heart of the South China Sea. The find was not just significant in size, but in its location, right in the middle of one of the world's most hotly contested maritime regions. The South China Sea, a vast expanse of blue dotted with tiny islands and reefs, has long been a flashpoint for territorial disputes. Now, with this discovery, the stakes have never been higher. The new reserves were found deep within China's sweeping 9-dash line, a boundary Beijing claims gives it historic rights over nearly the entire sea. The news sent shockwaves through Southeast Asia, as governments and citizens alike realized the balance of power could be shifting. For the Philippines, the announcement was a direct challenge. The resources China now claimed lay in waters Manila has long considered its own. Backed by international law and a 2016 tribunal ruling, Filipino officials condemned the move, while ordinary citizens worried about their livelihoods and national pride. But China's move wasn't just about oil. It was a bold assertion of power, a signal to the world that Beijing was willing to defend its claims with military might. Warships and Coast Guard vessels quickly appeared near the drilling site, sending a clear message. China was here to stay. Tensions soared as Chinese ships confronted Filipino vessels, turning what began as a resource dispute into a dangerous maritime standoff. Each encounter risked escalation, with both sides refusing to back down. War dudul, the world took notice. The United States, India, and ASEAN allies quickly condemned China's actions, viewing them as a threat to regional stability and the freedom of navigation vital for global trade. Diplomatic channels buzzed with urgent talks as leaders weighed their options. Control of these resources means more than just energy. It means influence over Southeast Asia's economic future and the power to shape the region's destiny. Whoever controls the oil and gas beneath these waters holds the keys to prosperity, security, and leverage in a rapidly changing world. The battle for oil and gas has become a battle for sovereignty itself, a struggle that will define the future of the South China Sea, and perhaps the fate of the entire region. For Filipino fishing communities, the South China Sea conflict is personal. Fishermen face harassment and danger as Chinese ships drive them from traditional waters, slashing incomes and deepening poverty. The dream of oil wealth is distant, the loss of daily livelihoods is immediate. Geopolitical tensions scare off investors, stalling development and leaving the nation's resources untapped. The government diverts funds from schools and hospitals to defense, forced by the growing threat at sea. The cost is twofold. Families lose their way of life and the nation loses its chance at prosperity. The struggle for resources is not just about money, it's about survival. The human toll is the true price of conflict. The Philippines is rich in resources, yet poverty persists, a paradox seen clearly in Masbate. Masbate's gold mines produce billions in wealth, but the province remains among the poorest in the country. Profits flow to corporations and distant shareholders, while locals see little benefit. Mining jobs are scarce and low-paid. Environmental damage destroys farming and fishing. The disconnect is stark. National wealth statistics mask local hardship and ecological loss. Masbate's story is a warning. Without fair distribution, resource wealth deepens inequality. As the nation eyes offshore oil and gas, the lesson is clear. Prosperity must reach the people, not just the powerful. Otherwise, the resource curse will repeat on a grander scale. The future depends on getting this right. Unlocking the Philippines' resources means facing tough regulatory and environmental challenges. Outdated mining laws and weak enforcement leave communities vulnerable and investors wary. Offshore drilling risks catastrophic oil spills in one of the world's most biodiverse regions. The new PENSES Act is a step forward, requiring the nation to account for natural capital and environmental costs. But laws alone aren't enough. Strong institutions and real transparency are essential. Industry lobbying, corruption, and lack of expertise threaten progress. The stakes are high: win the resource battle, but lose the environment and the victory is hollow. Sustainable wealth demands rigorous oversight and a commitment to protect the nation's natural heritage. To secure its future, the Philippines created the Maharlika Investment Corporation, its first sovereign wealth fund. Inspired by Norway's model, the goal is to turn oil, gas, and mineral profits into lasting national wealth. Managed wisely, the fund could finance infrastructure, innovation, and social safety nets for generations. But success depends on strong governance, clear rules, and guaranteed revenue transfers. Without these, the fund risks becoming an empty promise. The challenge of Kumowals. Ensure transparency and make Maharlika a true engine of prosperity. The nation stands at a crossroads. Will it seize the opportunity or let it slip away?
The answer will shape the Philippines for centuries.
The Philippines must heed the lessons of Kazakhstan, where secretive oil deals led to environmental disaster in the Caspian Sea. Lack of transparency and public oversight resulted in mass die-offs and unchecked pollution. The temptation to fast-track projects and cut corners is real, but the cost can be catastrophic. For an island nation, an oil spill would devastate both economy and ecology. The only safeguard is unwavering transparency. Every contract, every peso, every impact must be open to scrutiny. The Filipino people are the rightful owners of these resources. They must be vigilant guardians. This is about more than avoiding disaster. It's about building a just, equitable society. The call is clear. Proceed with caution, demand accountability, and protect the nation's future at all costs.